Hi, Coach Kyle Harris here at the Bob Harris Baseball School, and I wanted to do a quick video with a modification of a drill that I've been using with some of the kids that I've been working with. What I've been seeing a lot lately with some of the kids that we get up here, especially the ones that are older middle school or into high school, is that they're either too far on the front side or they're stuck back on that backside. So this drill that I'm going to do is for those kids that are really stuck on the backside. There's a lot of different drills we can use to trick kids into doing that. One thing we want to stay away from is over cueing. Just tell them we don't want to get them to live on the backside, obviously, but we can't have them too heavy on that front side, because if that front shoulder starts working its way down or they start lunging out purposely, that's a whole another problem. But when they're stuck on that backside this way, they'll either get too steep of a swing gradient on the way up and their attack angle will be too positive, or what happens is they cut their swing off and they're not giving themselves good plate coverage and they're not getting good directionality with the barrel. And that's very important. If we're not getting good direction with the barrel, we're not going to be able to deliver that barrel with as much force, and we're not going to be able to drive that ball. So for those kids that really get stuck on that backside, I mean, I've almost seen kids here, they're way stuck on that backside. We've got a couple of drills we do, but the one that I've been using is kind of like the float drill that you've probably seen used, you know, the hover drill or the float drill. I use it on a tee to really get them going to start, because what happens with these kids that have movement deficiencies, whether it's out front forward or they're back too far, once that ball starts moving, they just go back to that pattern. It's just too comfortable for them. It's really hard. And I know some people are really demonizing tees lately, and you can't really beat a tee for the matter of fact when you're trying to change a motor pattern. Okay, we can't, when we're trying to react to a moving ball, and that's what hitting is making a reaction to a ball that's moving, reading that ball, taking the visual cues, and then trying to make a split-second decision, even faster than that actually, onto how to get that body into the right position to drive the ball and get the barrel on the ball. So when we take away the dynamics or the fluid situation of the ball moving, and we make that stationary, we're in a more controlled environment and we can control our motor movement. So what I do is in that hover drill there is I like to call it the Flamingo drill, because I get them up like a flamingo, and you're going to see these kids that are stuck on their backside, they're going to want to do this. They're going to lean back this way, and as they do this drill, they're actually going to stride and just kind of collapse on that backside and just stay back the entire time. What they're trying to do really is that old test the ice. They're trying to stride away from their backside, and we don't want that. What we want to do is, if we have a center of access, our rotation of access is here. What we want to try to get them to do is boom, move right along with that while staying behind it. So what I try to get them to do is I get them up here, and I try to just let them fall onto that front leg and just feel that. And they're going to feel a little bit heavy on that front leg, which is good. So when we start, we do it in 2 steps. We kind of break it down so they feel that. So I'll just have them start here, and like I said, they're going to want to tilt back. Make them cock this way. So they're coming here like that, all right? And then, boom, we're just going to fall onto our heel. Right here, fall onto our heel. And watch what their hands do while they're doing it. Don't give them any other cues, just fall. And watch what their hands are doing. And from there, you can kind of see a lot of what's going on here. You know, if you get them to drop, or if they're actually, boom, pulling back and creating some tension, that's great. If they're not creating any tension, if those hands are coming this way, then you know that if they're collapsing on that backside and living there, it's probably to create that tension. So if you get kids that are way back this way, boom, they're trying to create tension, so they're pulling back as they should be going forward a little bit. So if you notice that, that's kind of a quick fix there. We can just kind of really work those hands. But if they do take those hands back here, there might be something else causing the issue you might have to address. So watch what the hands are doing when you do that first stage of the drill. So I'll just have them up here, flamingo stance, and then we're just falling. From that point, what I'll have them do is, after I get their hands where I want them or need them, back this way, then we'll take a swing, dead foot. We'll take a dead foot swing. And that'll show you another piece of the puzzle there on that dead foot swing. Because if they're here and they fall, and that dead foot swing just collapses this way, all right, we know we've got some work to do, and doing a dead foot hitting is not going to be for that player. All right, if they come here, they get on that front foot, and they use that front leg good, that's probably a good sign. So you're going to kind of have to use your judgment on where you go from there. So from that position here, we do our first few, where we just get here, and then we do some where we fall onto that front leg. We do some dead foot hitting, and then I'll let them flow right into their swing after that. Flamingo stance, and then we fall into it. All right, so what we're looking for here is we're looking to get that body moving forward, getting a little bit of that shoulder moving forward here, that separation, and then as we rotate, we watch that front shoulder decelerate. What we don't want is boom, and that collapse. Those hips coming out over the plate, basically to the first base dugout, okay? You got to keep that hinge there and then get to the ball. So it's a great drill to use. I definitely start with it on the tee. I like to call it the Flamingo drill. We're up this way, 3 steps to it, falling out, feeling that weight on the front leg so we can get a little bit of weight forward. Then we come and we hit off the dead foot, and then we flow right into the swing. Right through there. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, make sure you hit me up at HossJob on Twitter. You can email me at battersbox@yahoo.com. You can find us on Facebook at the Bob Harris Baseball School. That's my Flamingo drill. It's modified from the hover drill, and there's a lot of things you can do from it there. But for those kids that are stuck on the back side, start with them in that Flamingo stance. Just let them fall, feel a little bit of weight forward, get them comfortable with letting that weight get a little bit forward onto that heel. Do the dead foot swings, and then let them fall right back into it. So fall right into their swing. And hopefully by doing that, they'll feel, hey, I can still stay centered. I can still get my rotation. I'm not going to lunge out there, all right? As I saw somebody put on Twitter, I forget who it was. I'm sorry. I want to give you credit, but they said, go forward to stay back. I think it might have been at Baseball Rebellion. Those are some great guys to follow. So while you're there, make sure you follow at Launch Angle Tee and buy a Launch Angle Tee. Okay? All right. Later, guys.